So a guy about 2 weeks ago asked me, is that lilac tree you planted dead yet? He was very, very certain that, I didn't dig the hole deep enough, that and throwing that wood in there would just screw up the pH level and it was just going to die. Well, we come down here. Now let's see. That one got eaten by deer. And, these here, they're showing life. Okay? They're not dead. They're all planted the same way. This one over here was eaten by deer, I think, too, but it's showing life. So, and this one, too. This one's live. One heck of amount of motor for the miles it's gone. So you may be asking, why is my garden such a mess? Okay, well, part of that reason is because, it's the middle of April. Winter's just barely been gone a month. A month ago we had snow all over this ground. But, what's with all the wood debris and all the straw and all the general clutter? Well, and what about the grass and weeds growing up in my garden? Well, that grass is actually an improvement, because last year all I could get out of this ground was sulfur cinquefoil. The grass means I actually have some nitrogen in the soil for a change. But, let me go take you to go see a live forest, because see, what I'm trying to do here is create a food forest. Let's go look at a real forest. Okay, you see this? This is about what a wild forest looks like. This is across the street from me. It's been logged off, a few decades ago, but it's a wild forest. Nobody's coming here mowing the grass. Nobody's fertilizing it. Nobody's spraying it for bugs. None of that stuff. And well, if you look, it's fairly lush. Okay, mind you, this is a dry forest. If this area was any drier, you would not have trees on this ground. So it's not lush as in rainforest type lush, but it is lush for this area. And nobody's tending it. It's just dumping wood debris all over the place occasionally when there's a storm. There's pine needles down here. If we dig deep enough, we'll find pine needles and pine cones, plus, some dead grasses and weeds. It's all down there in the ground, and nobody cleans it up. And for this area, this is very lush. And this mechanism in nature is what you use in a food forest. You take the processes of a forest and tune them to produce food. So just as in the wild forest you have leaves and sticks and dead grasses and that sort of thing, I too have wood debris and grasses. Mixed in with this straw you see laying all over the place is chicken manure. It came directly from down there in the chicken house. We shoveled straw in there to make a nice bed in there, and then we shoveled it in a wheelbarrow and hauled it out here and dumped it, scattered it. I dumped it right on top of the snow. As the snow melted, it came down and settled on the ground. The snow under the straw took longer to melt than the rest of it. I should have taken a video of that, but I was feeling pretty miserable at the time, so I didn't. What a food forest tries to do is take all those lush elements of a forest and retunes those forces of nature into producing food. So one of the things you need to get used to is having a messy garden. Some people, I understand, they want a pristine, neat, even road garden with no weeds, no nothing like that in it. And those people, they're welcome to try to do that, but for the sake of not stressing so much, they might want to invest in some astroturf, maybe some ceramic tile, and you know, certainly some plastic flowers, because that's going to be a whole lot less stressful than trying to get a pristine garden to actually grow stuff. This here is hardboard. It's made of sawdust, glued together. I think it's mostly the natural woods adhesive, maybe with a little bit of artificial stuff. And I'm probably end up burying most of it this spring. And the wafer board, it'll probably also get buried. Another thing that I tossed on top of the snow are some seeds. It was I bought some vetch seeds. I think it was like 2.5 pounds of that. And then I also scattered on top of the snow some flax seed and some let's see what else there was there. Quinoa and amaranth, and let's see, alfalfa. That's the other one. Scattered them all right on top of the snow. Seeds are down here in the works somewhere. I'm not seeing much evidence that they're growing, but it's still early in the season. It's only April 1. And, you know, we're still getting mornings that are in the 20s. It's pretty rough out here yet, so it's a waiting game. I'll know by June if any of it's going to grow. If it doesn't grow by June, I need to do something. If you watch the not Return to Eden, but Back to Eden video on a guy who it's like a really big garden in western Washington on the Olympic Peninsula. You know, you got the area on the Olympic Peninsula that gets like 15 feet of rain, not 15 inches, but 15 feet of rain a year. Then you've got the areas like here where, well, actually the central part of the state, it gets less than 10. It's just insanely dry there. What he is in is called a rain shadow. He's on the downwind side of the Olympic Mountains, so he gets about the same amount of rain we get here. What's different between there and here is he has clay soil, and that's like having a rubber mat laying on the ground. Water doesn't go through clay soil very quickly. What we have is sand and gravel. Water goes through quickly. Our air is also drier. What we consider humid weather is very dry over there. And we're also probably at least 1,000 feet higher, if not more, than he is. So the thin air does not assist much in retaining water. That does not mean his methods won't work here. It just means I have to step up my game above and beyond what he does. So that means I need to shut the camera off.